All right, so I've got my grandfather's tractor. It's 1970 something. Trying to figure out what year it is. It was a Craftsman. It's in excellent shape. There's not a bit of rust anywhere on this tractor. Everything is solid, solid, solid. There's no rust anywhere on it. Surprising, because it lived in Canada most of its life. So I've had it for about 20 years now, down here in North Carolina, and it's always been stored indoors. So the tractor is in great shape. But it looks like a tractor. And I don't know, how much fun can you have on a tractor? So I want to update it. Want to make a few changes. Been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now, and this is going to be another project for the channel. And I'm pretty excited about this one. So here's my idea. I want to lower it. I want to stretch it. I want to hot rod it, paint it, drive it. I've got other projects I'm working on, and I've gotten to a place where I realize I need to sharpen my abilities as a welder, as a body man, as a painter, all these different things I'm teaching myself how to do, watching YouTube videos for the most part. So I'm just going to walk you through my ideas real quick on what I want to do with the tractor. Ideally, I'm here from here to here. I'm right now 13 inches. I'd like to see this get within 3 inches of the ground. That's first thing. So we're looking at, you know, doing a 9 to 10 inch frame drop here. I can do that in the front by taking this front axle and putting it on top of the frame. That's probably one of the first things I'm going to do. Get this axle up on top of the frame, take my steering here and reverse it, put it to the bottom side of this. There's a bracket on the front of here, a U-shaped bracket that's welded in this way that holds the axle. My thought is to cut that out, notch this up in here, turn that bracket up the other way, and actually get the frame up in here. This is coming out of here because this will eventually be sitting down here. The whole thing's coming down. So first thing is we lower that. In the back, I've watched a lot of guys doing these flips, and the easy thing to do is you take a lawnmower and you take the back axle, you take it off, you spin it around, you flip it upside down, and now your pulley's down on the bottom, your pulley's down here from the engine, and off you go. Everything's good. This isn't a lawnmower per se, it's a rendition of a garden tractor. A little bit different. So the pulley drive is on the side of the engine, not on the bottom of the engine. The transmission, the pulley is on the side of it right down here, okay? It is not on the bottom. So my pulley alignment's gonna have to stay through the frame this way here. I don't wanna sit on top of my wheels. I wanna sit down here. To do that, well, I'm not huge, but I'm a bigger guy. I'm not gonna fit there. So what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to take the back wheels and extend the frame back 12 inches, lower the frame 10, get myself down, and so my seat's down in here someplace. I'm going to have to do the steering a little bit different. I'm probably still going to do more of a tractor steer, less of a car steer. Probably still keep a tractor steer. This will go away in exchange for a foot pedal throttle. The engine, I already unbolted this here so I can start playing a little bit. The hood will come off. I'll keep the same hood. What we've got here is we've got two mufflers. They'll come off the top of there like that. My idea is coming around the back here, I've got this, which is a exhaust off of a Harley Davidson. My idea is to have it coming out the back, tucked up here over top of that, probably coming off of this side because that's where the exhaust is, coming off of here. I think that'd be kind of cool. So the big exhaust pipe coming out the back, chrome. I want to take the wheels, I want to widen them out with 2-inch spacers on the back, get a little bigger stance on the front axle. When I raise it up, I'm probably going to stretch the front axle 4 inches. And the reason I want to do that is just to get a wider stance in the front as well. Over on this side here, you can see when I steer all the way this way, all right, If I bring this down 8 inches, my tire is right into this here. I'm going to be up and forward a little bit more because I'm going to bring it forward, and I'm also going to give myself a little bit of positive caster just so that I've got a little bit better stability at higher speeds. I'm not tilling fields anymore. This system here, there's an air cleaner that goes on here on top of the carburetor, up here like this, and it sits right here. This thing takes fresh cold air and blows it up, and it's like a cold air induction into the carburetor to keep the thing running better, because the carburetor is surrounded by exhaust and we don't want it pulling. Well, next thing we want to do is take the console for the steering, and we want to lower it down as well. So not only have we lowered this thing down 10 inches, we're going to lower this down another, so that the top of this console here is right at this height here. So that's great, right? But we're not moving the motor any. That means the carburetor is too high. Well, my idea is cut a hole in the hood, let the carburetor come through the hood, put a air ram snorkel on the front here so it gets its cool air from outside of the engine compartment, and you know, you can add a little chrome, because chrome will get you home. So a little chrome up there. Want to do chrome wheels on here and there. I think for now I found some chrome PVC chrome plated hubcaps that I'm kind of jazzed about. I'm gonna put those on for now just to see how I like the look of it. I want to get rid of the knobby tires and go with a smaller tread, more of a turf tire, something that's a little bit more streetable. The idea is this is going to be more of a go-kart fun project to drive. Take the carburetor off here and the air intake, as it's already loose. Originally the seat sat on this spring. So the original height of the seat was like, let's see, that. The original height of the seat was way up here. And then down under here is where the gas tank sat. The battery was up in here, the gas tank's here. So the battery and the gas tank both keep everything a little bit tall. By pulling the axles back here, it's going to give me a little bit of a platform back here, and I should be able to relocate my gas tank and my battery to the back of the vehicle. The engine, previously unbolted. Just lift out of there. The idea is this piece here, when we're done, I want the bottom of this piece here sitting right down, almost on the ground. All right, I think next what I want to do is get in here and try to take the, I'm not sure what this is called. This is a pedestal. It is what holds the steering wheel and the controls. And I was texting my brother the other night telling him about working on this, and he said, "You think you'll ever fix the hour meter that never did work?" That's weird, isn't it? The things we each remember. I never remember that the hour meter didn't work. Would explain the low hours. My grandfather's name was Earl. So I got to come up with a cool name for the tractor. Big Earl, Fast Earl, Low Earl, Slow Earl, if it doesn't work out like I'm hoping it will. I don't know. I think I'm going to let the build happen and then see where it leads me from there. Got a starter solenoid down here. We'll be going back with a push button start and a kill switch, just because you never know where it's going to end up when I build something. Sometimes kill switch is helpful. So here we are, really kind of opened it up there. You can see where my frame sits here. This axle here is, I want it to sit up here. This is the clutch, and it actually goes through here, and I've got, I don't think those are Allen screws. I think those, yeah, those are drift pins. So I'm gonna have to drift those out of there. Take this little nut off of here. There's a little paddle here that comes up and hits the brake pedal actuator switch. And then there's that's the tensioner that puts it in gear. When you pop it back, puts it in gear. So if I remember correct, this was the parking brake. When you put that in, park, then the actuator doesn't work for the clutch, so it won't let you put it in gear either. And it does apply, it looks like a band brake that goes around. This here, if I remember correct, is a high-low. I likely will just put this in the high position and not have it as a low. I'm not gonna be doing any pulling with this tractor, but here's the, that was first, second, third, and this was reverse. So it's a 3-speed transmission, and it did have reverse in it. So that's what we'll go back with. So I think I'm going to take the wheels off the back so I can see kind of where it sits. And then I'm going to take the front axle off and just get it lowered down a little bit. I'm going to keep working on this. And of course, I'm going to get the fenders off. I want to be able to see back in here. This piece here is the back frame member. That's where there was a hydraulic lift that mounted to here. I've taken it off already. And then here's your pins. That's where all your implements and attachments went to. And there was a trailer hitch here, which I've taken off already. So I want to get this thing off of here so I can see what's going on in there. I can't see it yet. And so I've got questions I'd like answers to in there. So the two fenders are bolted together with this little brace, but the whole thing will lift off with just taking 4 bolts out. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take those 4 bolts off next and see what I can see. And these are bolts. They're not lug nuts. They are bolts that go through into the stud, into the hub, and well, none of them are tight. So a good idea that we were taking this off and checking it. But we got a nice tight fit in the hub there too. So I don't know if they're hub centric or lug centric or whatever you call it, but either way, they came off really nice. It's a joy to work on an old project, something that was taken care of regularly, because working on an old project and every bolt is seized and rusted and stuck, it can steal your joy quickly. Obviously, with the tires on here, those fenders have to come way up, but I want to sit down in here is the idea. I don't want to be sitting on top of the tires. See how these guys build these lawn tractors and they still sit up like Farmer Brown up top there, and I don't know, riding a tractor is cool, but definitely not cool to do it that way. Rear fenders coming off. Can we just take a look at for a second? The inside of that fender. Is that not incredible shape? Does this not look like a brand new tractor that was just picked up at Sears last month? This guy here, that appears to be the bolt that holds in the front axle. So if we remove it, we should be able to move the axle. But I think before I do that, I would like to disconnect the tie rod ends. Okay, that's the nut off the back of it. These little things here on the side, they go up and they go down, and they got holes in them. Those are mounting brackets. It's where the mower would connect to on the bottom, the plow would connect to on the top. They're mounting brackets on the frame. They'll have to come off the top, but I think I'm going to leave them on the bottom because I'm going to have the ground clearance with the height of the wheel. The idea would be good tie down place when I'm towing it. There we go. So we're going to scooch this out.
Oopsie.
Let's get that. All right. Not a bad height. Not a bad height at all. So that's the wheel back about 6 inches. So I'm envisioning another 6 inches back. All right. Good morning. It's the next day. Looking at it, fresh eyes. This is the rear end, and then your transmission is up in here. You see how the thing sits like this on the ground. So the idea is to pull it back and then pull it up so that we flatten out the bottom of this a little bit better. We're going to go with a smaller pulley on here to increase the speed, bigger pulley on the engine, smaller pulley on the back end, a little bit of a pulley swap there. So I think I'm going to start, though, up front first. Was getting this bracket out of here, switching that around, flipping it up here, taking this axle here. This is the axle that we want to extend. I got to figure out where I'm going to cut it and extend it, but I want to add about 2 inches on each end, and I'm just not sure where I want to add that yet. So I'm looking at that, trying to figure that out. I might do a spacer here on each end. I like the way that it's mounted in the middle, and everything else is strong structurally there. So I think instead of one bracket in the middle and I redo that bearing and everything else, I think I'm just going to split it on both sides and put an extension out both sides. Got a big long blade on here. Just going to try to cut it up on the both sides and get that thing to work right. And people have been telling me that I need to be better about wearing eye protection. And I can see that. The other thing they tell me to do is I should wear ear protection. I'm running on my tools, and well, that doesn't bother me so much because I can't hear them. Now there's an interesting idea. At this point I could actually flip the axle. And that would allow me the space I need here. I could cut this back into here, cut this out here like this, mount this in here, turn this around so my steering is back on the other side where I need it to be. But I think I might try that real quick. Now that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? So I flip my axle upside down. I can cut this in here. I could actually lower the frame a little bit more because I've got some clearance here. So if I brought this front frame down another, I got it standing on the side of the brick. Maybe if I brought it down onto the flat of the brick, I could bring that into there a little bit. That's going to weld right back in a lot to where it was. I think I might actually turn this bracket around and get this part of it down inside so I can weld all the way down because the back side of it is tapered, and that'll look kind of cool on the front. So I think what I'll do is I'll spin this around, cut it back into the frame where it was, but higher, and flip backwards. All right, so that is part one of my tractor build. Pretty excited about this project. I've actually got far enough along in the project. I probably have 3 episodes already filmed. It's low, the wheels are moved back, there's all kinds of exciting things happening. So please remember to tune in, see the next part of the build. It'll be a series. I'm not sure how many episodes, but I'll take it all the way through to completion, engine running, painted, put it on a trailer, take it to a car show, something. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm just having a great time working on it. And you guys need to do the same. If you got a project, get out there, work on it. Project doesn't work itself, you work the project. Make it happen.